stages. So the exact wording was, it all changes in an instant, right? I want to make sure.
My life changed in an instant.
Okay. I get so busy thinking about it, I end up rewording it in my head. It happened again, just now. My heart kept beating. Our life is made of instants, moments. Could or could not have happened. Your life changes at that point. A moment ago, I could have been alive or not, and I still am. And there we go again. We remember, God, if somebody could put a number to it, we remember 0.00 something percent of all the instants, all the moments in our lives that have changed things. We take some pictures of some people remind us if we've forgotten. You remember when you were all, oh, don't remind me. I've been remembering a bunch of them because of this theme. We define many things through relationships to other people and to things, to jobs, to time. Some things are very, like, it's this time or that time. They're facts. There was a time where I was beginning to believe in something a little bit beyond fact. The woman I married, one of the things that brought us into that was a bit of magic. Things happening when, how did that happen? That couldn't have happened. Did you just, but I was, and then some, just unexplainable, just brilliant, synchronistic, whatever wonderful words you want to put with it. And I was just full of that. Wow, of course we should. And then we did. And then as some relationships go, it stopped. And I was literally afraid that that was gone. That kind of magic would no longer be in my life. I'd never been scared of something not being in my life anymore, besides, like, you know, maybe a relative dying, like my grandmother died. I know she's not going to be my, you know, I know people die, but this was new. Like, I would just know from then on that I wasn't experiencing it. Fearing the rest of my life. And then, as things move on, I was with someone, and I was just thinking about her. Like, where is she? On the television. Vanessa, where are you? It's back. It's not gone. And I breathed. It was like this. It was just like, okay, it's possible. And that came and went. Things have. But just that moment of thinking I'm always going to miss this for the rest of my life was scary. And I felt the ebb and flow of that connection with people over time, and have held it to a degree as a measure of, will this or won't be that which brings happiness to me for whatever period of time I'm lucky enough to experience it. And there have been times where it's been off. After being on, it's like, oh, I guess it's perhaps not anymore. I've come to a place where I can think to myself and feel to myself about what I've said and felt and expressed and back and forth, and decide, instead of just blowing my own wind, this happened now. Most of our life is what happens to us in this moment. This bomb went off, or this red light went on. It's, oh, I need to get, oh, red light, I missed it. I missed that opportunity. Very recently, I got in my own way. I kept saying, I don't want this, I don't want this. Why won't you be with me? Oh, because I keep going, I don't want this. Why would you want to be with that? And I paid enough attention to myself to just say, well, that's not very welcoming. Who would want that? And I stopped, and I said, hey, I mean, all that stuff, but would you like to? Please. And they said, yes. And there was that moment. Wow, have I been doing this to myself for years? Of not getting people to say yes when I wished that they would somehow. It's like that in a moment. Just asking, like getting all of your, we all have stuff. Get that out of the way, get through it just a moment. Like, here, me, you, this place, for this instant. Pay attention, like for a day, every moment that changes. Some are brilliant little gifts. my son and I get on the BART train in Ashby. There's these two cute kids on their cute little bikes. Like, oh, that's cute. Day goes on. Hours later, we're hanging out with buffaloes in Golden Gate Park. Buffaloes! He didn't believe it. He didn't believe me there were buffaloes. He's 5. Why would he believe his dad? Yeah, there's really buffaloes. Like, oh, there's not. I look over. It's just two kids. Of all the million possibilities of where they could be at that moment, of all the places in San Francisco they could have been, of all the places they could have been just in Golden Gate Park that I would never have seen them again for the rest of my life, there they were. And there are moments like that, that bit of magic that has come into my life separate of the emotional or maybes or this way in the relationships. This extra bit of magic that has grown in brilliant moments of that's impossible. Thank you. I'm not sure still who to say thank you to, him, them, it. But that has happened. Birthed from the moment where I was worried that magic was just never, it was just gone. And I would see other people have it probably. And I would just know I didn't. To finding it with people and finding it outside of, the pangs of love and hope and desire to just, I have no idea who you are, but I'm happy to see you twice in my life. Never seen him again. But those moments keep happening. And I remember first moving into San Francisco, Bicycle Messenger, 97, getting paid to ride my bike. Wow! A world away, moved from Stockton. And poetry on the stage. And there's one lady, her regular thing, what she did every week, was she would just get up and read a list of those things. Just those things that happened to her this past week. And always something happened to her. And she always had this great appreciation for this moments of there's brilliant possibility. I love listening to her. And maybe it's about time I start writing that list of those things and reading that in some regular time once a week and just being bowled over by how mystical, amazing, magical, impossible the things that you've given that you probably missed plenty of times are. I love those things. And my son is showing me so many things. The moment a few days ago that made me feel like a brilliant fool, he's asking me, referencing a Far Side cartoon, about the joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? So I explained it to him. It's what I do. He asks me questions. I explain the world to him. And it wasn't until that moment, maybe you guys all know this and I'm the last one, but I didn't really know why the joke was funny until he asked me to explain it to him. Nobody's ever asked me to explain why does chicken cross the road. Who asks anyone now, like, what is that? Why is that funny? We just know it's funny because they told a joke. That's the joke you say, and it's funny. I didn't get it till my 8-year-old asked me to explain it to him. Oh. And then, of course, I wondered, like, does everyone else know this? And we talked about it for a while. It was just like that moment not too much before that, where he asked me, what was the season for the first humans? And it was such a deep question, I didn't get it. I asked him to explain it to me again, like, hello, 8-year-old, could you explain your question to me again? Because I don't get it. Like when humans were first like humans on the earth, was it winter, was it summer, has anyone ever asked that question? I'm the first one here. This is my instant of like, I'm experiencing something the first time in the world, perhaps. Or maybe not. At least he's like part of an exclusive club of like 8-year-olds who have asked that question over time. Those instants that define the possibilities of what you could understand. I am 37 years old, and I've only just figured out why it's funny that the chicken crosses the road, and my life is different. That magic continues in being able to understand. And just waiting for him to tell me something else so I can become way smarter. No, I'm just waiting. And he's been throwing them at me, and I just got to start writing this stuff down. I just have to start writing this stuff down. And I'm really just happy that I was, whatever, built enough to listen, to realize, to pay attention, to relay, to enjoy these instants where my life totally changed.